You're listening to the Staging Sips podcast with Lori Fisher. This podcast is dedicated to helping real estate staging CEOs build healthy businesses that grow, flow, and thrive. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so happy to be with you again, as always. This is the highlight of my weeks, just FYI. I love recording this podcast for you, and I hope that you are continuing to get value and learn from it and get some, strategies, hacks, all the good stuff. So anyway, today I'm continuing to geek out about my love of all things Google in the business. And I'm really letting my nerd fly free and be out there, right? Like super vulnerable, telling you about all my nerdiness when it comes to systems and processes and teams and tools and all the things. So anyway, today, again, Google Drive. And this Google Drive is a great tool regardless of what stage of business you're in. So whether you are in the growth stage of your business or you are hitting accelerate or leverage, Google Drive is a tool that can grow with your business and really perform excellently. I know there are so many all-in-one tools out there today. Google is only one of them. And my business really came into being before things like 17 Hats and Dubsado were available, but we've continued to use Google. I've investigated all of those. I just really like it for a whole host of reasons. So let me share with you a little bit about what I love about it. And some of this is actually a checklist that I use for when I'm evaluating new tools for the business anyway. So just when we talk about analyzing your people, processes, and tools as you're refining your operations, here's a couple of the thoughts that I have and kind of some of the boxes that Google Drive checks for me. So I'll share that with you first, and then I'll dive into how we use it inside of Rethink Home Interiors so that you can, try to apply this yourself. Or if you're already using Google, maybe you'll learn a way that we do it that's a little bit different than you do. But anyway, that's kind of the framework that we'll use today moving forward. So let's dive into what I love about Google Drive. The first is that it's mobile friendly. Whenever I'm looking for a new tool in the business, I really want to make sure if it is something that my stylists are using out in the field, that it's really mobile friendly. They're very often on the go and need an easy way to access things. It's super easy. Like even if you print something off, you can forget it, leave it behind. It can get spilled on or whatever. As long as we have documentation in Google Drive and we have it mobile friendly, we never have to worry that we don't have access to what we need on site at any given time. So that's the first thing I look at when I'm considering any new tool in the business. The next is that Google Drive integrates very easily with a lot of other apps. And I really, really like that. So when you're looking to leverage your business and serve more people and grow, you're likely going to bring in new tools into your business, and you want things that play well with a lot of other things. So I love Google Drive for that. Just integrates super, super easily with our scheduling apps and our Canvas that we use for creating our selling success plans. And I'll tell you how we use those afterwards, but how we use Google and those things together. But I just love that. I love that it's easy to create those automations, and just in general, anything that I know that can have an automation wrapped around it, I'm going to prioritize that. So I don't tend to like working with tools that they're great in and of themselves, but I can't use them. I can't integrate them with other things. I love, this is now unique to Google Drive and not, just my kind of evaluating a tool kind of process, but this is unique to Google Drive. I love that you can dynamically update documents, which means that if you have a document like a Google document, which is like a Microsoft Word document, if you're not familiar with Google terms, it's like Microsoft Word, that when you update that, you don't need to save it and then send it to somebody to let them know, to give them the changes. You don't have to click save at all. Anytime you type anything into a Google document, it is automatically saved. And then the next time somebody goes to open it, the newest version of that document is right there for them. This is incredible, especially in a business because things can be fluid. Documentation can change a lot, especially in the early days of your business until you kind of dial it in. And you just really want something that's super, super flexible. I also like that you can rename the titles of things. So I had shared in last week's episode that I put a number in front of a document so that I can have it in the order that I want it in. Well, when I used to work in Dropbox back in the early days of my business, if you change the title of a document, you would not be able to find it. If you had sent the link to that document to somebody, they wouldn't be able to find the document. It would no longer be there because you had changed the title. That is not the case with Google Drive. You can change the title, but you always have the link available. And that's the other thing I love about Google Documents, is that every document and every folder inside of Google Drive has a link that goes with it. So you can share that link with anyone. And I love that those links and those documents also have various levels of sharing. So for example, if you're housing personnel files in Google Drive, and we do because the encryption is so great in Google Drive. So if we have personnel files in there, we really only want limited access. We want our admin team, me, and the employee that it impacts having access to their employee file. So we can change the settings to reflect that. If we want something to be public, whether it's a folder or a file, we can create that setting so that the entire team has access to it. So there's just like a ton of flexibility. And for me, that is probably my overarching, when I'm looking at a tool, it's got to be able to be used in a variety of ways, and especially in the ways that we use them. And I know that my brain works in my business. So that's my kind of out there case for using Google Drive in the first place as a tool. And of course, from Google Drive, you have integrations with your calendar, with your Gmail, all of that, the whole Google suite of products. So how do we use Google Drive in our business? Well, first and foremost is organization, right? So every document that we have is inside of Google Drive. Like I said before, you don't want anything on your hard drive of your computer in case your computer gets thrown into a lake or you lose it, it gets corrupted, it crashes. As long as you have your documents in Google Drive, they are in the cloud, they are available to you. So we have things like our team documents, like our hiring documents, personnel files, expense reports, mileage trackers, all of that. Actually, we now use an app for our mileage, but that's a whole other podcast. But those are the kinds of things that we store in team documents. Then we have our client folders for every service. So for each of our services, we actually have two folders. One folder is for the documents for that service, and then we have client folders for that service. So in our organization, it looks like we have styling evaluation documents folder, and that has all of the templated documents that we use. And then we have styling evaluation client folders. And inside of our client folders, we have a before folder. And this is great for uploading photos for before, like when you're doing a styling evaluation and you want to take pictures of the space. And then, what we like to do is open them up on our big screens when we get back to our office so that we can write up our reports because, our brains tune a lot out. But it also is great for vacant staging for uploading before condition photos. This is part of that cover your assets kind of topic where you want to be taking photos of if there are scratches on the floor or dents on the wall. That's really, really important to have documentation. And because you can see the date that an item was uploaded, you've got that available for you very easily. You can see the history of a file. So you can see the date that it was uploaded and the date that if you're uploading it the day that you take it, then you have got your butt covered. All that should be done before you put anything into someone's house. But it's super easy to upload right from the mobile app, which is another reason why I love that. So when our team is out and they've taken photos on site, they can upload them right from their car, right into Google Drive, so it's there immediately. We also add after photos, whether that's professional photos or just our team has taken photos at the end of a styling so that we can share them on social media. Signed client agreements are in each folder. So each folder has a blank client agreement that when the client decides they're going to move forward, we can customize it and we can send it to be signed electronically right from Google Drive. And we use that, they call it an add-on It's an add-on extension called Dropbox Sign. So right from the Google document, we can click on send it for signature and out it goes for signature. I love that feature. And then the signed document is added right back into that client folder. So you don't need to do anything. It gets added automatically right into that client's folder. This is where we upload our selling success plan when we're done with it. So once we finalize that, we sent it to the client. We also upload it to their folder. So if there's any question that comes out of that appointment and maybe the stylist is on vacation, we can access that file very easily by going into the client's client folder. We also have things like inventory needed reports. So when it's a vacant staging and we want to list all of the items that we think the client will need, we have a template of inventory needed items and we just customize that for the project. And that way our team, when they go to do a pull, they have that information accessible and available to them. So that's the first thing. So big time organization for our clients and things like that. Then we have templates for all of our services. Like I said, each service has its own documents folder. So we have our client agreement template, the inventory needed template, what to expect at your appointment template, how you can prepare, vacant staging checklist, email templates, any of our styling guides or moving bundles that we provide to our clients. All of those things, all of those templates are housed within our Google Drive. And then what we do is we are able to use Google Drive for links. So not only do we use it for the organization of our files and housing of our templates, but then we use the links. And this is really one of the best things, in my opinion, about storing all of your items in something like Google Drive. So when each document has a link, we can include a link to any extra documentation inside of emails to clients. So when a client books with us and they are set up in our customer relationship management tool, automatic emails get sent to them. And that's where we send things like a welcome email. We send the what to expect email. All of those get linked inside of the email. So, we can send the, hey, we're so excited you booked email, and that actually gets automatically sent too. But, we're excited that you've started your appointment. Click here to view how you can best prepare for your appointment. And that takes them to our Google document about how to prepare. We also have it in when a client books through Acuity scheduling. At the end of that, when it says, great, you've been confirmed in Acuity, we also wanted to share things. So that's where we've shared overtime when we had a COVID policy, or we offer them a staging bundle, like a checklist of their open house checklist, how to talk about their listing on social media when it goes live, all of that stuff. Those links all get added into our Acuity, you've confirmed your booking message. We also use links in our Asana tasks. So Asana is our project management tool where it's every step of our process is outlined in a very organized way. And sometimes there's supporting documentation that you need for each one of those tasks. So, for example, it might be, I don't know, if you're going to send an email, for example, send the email, the what to expect at your appointment email to the client. You could link directly to a Google document that has all of the text for that email along with the link. So if you're not doing it automated in any way yet and you are still doing it manually, that's how you could do that. But we link to a lot of Google documentation inside of our Asana tasks. Inside of our templates or our selling success plans, we use those links as well. So one of the links that we share in our selling success plan is a link to our photo gallery. Our photo gallery is housed inside of Google Drive. So for those of you who don't have a website yet and you want a place to put your portfolio, this is for those growth business owners. Google Drive is a great place to store photos for a portfolio. So we do that for how to style a coffee table, how to make your bed, how to do all that, because a lot of times our styling evaluation clients are doing the styling themselves, and we want to give them the very best tools in order to do that. So that's an example of where we would link to our photo gallery folder inside of Google Drive. We also link to those how-tos in the open house checklist that they get. So the open house checklist is a really pretty document that we created in Canva. And then we can link out to our others, like how to style your mantle, how to style your coffee table, kind of like recipe cards that we have for them. I also use Google Drive links to share documents with the students inside of Accelerate at the Staging Business School. And the really cool thing is that you can send it in a way that the business owners that I send that click on that link inside of the Accelerate program, like our Swipe Studio has a lot of Google Drive links in it. And I'm able to make a little tweak to the link in which when a client clicks on it, a student clicks on it, it will say make a copy. So they can make their own copy of that document, and they won't be using my document. They'll create a copy for themselves, and then they can customize it for their business. So it's just a really cool tool to be able to use that with all of those links. It's amazing. I still marvel at it all these years in, and I still marvel at it. And last, like I mentioned, is mobile app access. This, again, I don't want to belabor this point, but having the mobile access allows our team, like I said, access to all of the documents that we have inside of our business, as well as the before photos. Anything that they need should be found inside of the mobile app easily. And it doesn't matter if they are in some far-flung place where they don't have Wi-Fi access, they're still able to open the mobile app and find what they need for any appointment. So those are all of the reasons that I love Google Drive in my business. I hope that you found something valuable in here for yourself and enjoyed this little sip. And I will see you next week on the podcast. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening to the Staging Sips podcast. If you love what you've learned here today, please take a minute to rate and review it so more staging business owners can find us. And if you want to learn more about how to market and grow your staging business more strategically, I'd love to see you join us inside of the Rethink You Accelerate mentorship program. It is open enrollment. You can get more details at rethinkhomeinteriors.com/rethinkyou. Would love to see you inside.